Just waiting to get online. All right. Already on Rumble, YouTube, now Facebook, now we are ready. Shalom and welcome once again to Just a Word. This is so low. Yeah, shalom and welcome to Just a Word. Only hope is the volume too low? Are you hearing me? Is the volume okay? Those on the Zoom. Shalom, someone, is the volume?
Yes, it's okay.
It's
Okay.
good.
Okay, all right. All right. Yeah, shalom and welcome once again to Just a Word. As we are here for another Shabbat teaching, today we want to look at the topic, if any man love the world. And I do pray and hope that I will be able to bring out what has been shown to me through these words. Do hope I'll be able to bring it out. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. This teaching here today, it is going to actually show several different things, the interaction between faith, the interaction between loving the world and the spirit of anti-Messiah and the spirit of antichrist, the spirit of error, the relationship between loving the world and the false teachers, all of us, out of all of the pool of us, yes, most of us are false teachers, and we're going to show you how to identify them, what to run away from, what to look for, the deception, how to avoid the deception. A whole lot of things can come out of this, and you can see a whole lot out of this as the verses come together. All right? So the word is, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. A very famous verse in 1 John 2:15 to 17. And I highlighted in yellow and white. You see me highlighting these that are highlighted are those in which we place emphasis. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man, there we go. If is a conditional statement. Any man means everybody. No exception. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And you know that this verse, we've used it several times here. It is one of the verses that you wonder, what is wrong with people? What kind of Bible are we reading? This verse is what I call a roadblock verse. Roadblock. Roadblock verse. And roadblock means if you don't overcome this verse, you have nowhere going. The road is blocked. It says, if any man love the world, therefore, if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. What are you doing? You will be in religion. And that is why those in religion, they set up themselves with the prosperity doctrine, loving the world, thinking that the love of the Father is in them. Yes? Thinking that they have Ruach HaKadosh in them, Holy Spirit in them. And so they go about setting up their own standard of Ruach HaKadosh, which they call the Holy Ghost, which comes with rolling on the ground, sometimes even frothing at the mouth, speaking all sorts of different mumbo-jumbos. Yes? But they love the world. So, if they love the world, how is the love of the Father in them? It's not. For all that is in the world, and it gives you three different things: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. So the world can be summed up in three headings. lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. It is not of the Father, but it is of the world. So we have a separation here. We have the world, and we have the Father. Love the world, the Father is not. Love of the Father is not in you. You are in the world with the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. That is what is driving you. But when you are driven by the love of the Father, it means that the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life will not be in you. You will not be comfortable in the place where the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes thrives, and that is Babylon. So Babylon thrives under the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. If you have the love of the Father in you, you will have no difficulty rejecting Babylon. Hey. Verse 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahuwah abideth forever. That means that the will of the Father is that you do not love the world. Very simple. So the lust will pass away, and this lust is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. That will pass away. But you who do the will of the Father, which is you, who do not love the world, neither the things of the world, you will abide forever. So, there is a contingency. There is a basis, a standard, a qualification for us to abide forever. And that is not loving the world or the things of the world. Therefore, people, there is no true believer who is going into the kingdom loving the world or the things of the world. So, many times we read over this verse and we continue in our love of the world. We say, love not the world, neither the things of the world, and we don't look into it to see what exactly it is saying. It disqualifies us from having anything to do with the kingdom. Because let me show you what's happening. Let me just give you an example of what is happening with believers today. Because the Most High is showing us for the past few weeks about false teachers. Because this is the age in which they are thriving. So this teaching as well, this teaching encompasses so many different things. Please don't leave it. It is going to show you the false teachers, how the love of the world impacts false teachers and impacts what you receive from them. Yes? So let's go. Loving the world causes us to have itching ears. When you have people seeking to move around, I need to get this thing sorted out here. When you have people seeking to have us move around, from one place to the other, one person to the other. I'm trying to get this thing. All right, that's the best it can go, I think. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to get this thing steady. Oh, that. Yeah, when you have people, when you have us moving around from one place to the other, it is because of our love of the world. We're going to show you. All right. Can't do any better than that. Sorry about this black patch here. Let me see if I can get rid of it. That's what is holding this thing up. All right. 2 Timothy 4 verse 1. I charge thee therefore before Yahuwah and the Master Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom, preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all longsuffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. We have been speaking about this on the internet, how people run from teacher to teacher. Yes? Won't stay with one teacher, move from one teacher to the other, having itching ears. Why? It says after their own lusts. But we just spoke about lust when we said the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life that is of the world. So when you have itching ears, it is after your own lust that is stimulated by the lust that is in this world that makes you want to heap unto yourselves teachers having itching ears. Having itching ears are ears that want to hear what you want to hear. So if you are with a teacher like us who teach the hard truth, you might want to hear something nice. So after your lust to hear something nice, then you go to other teachers. Yes? And they shall turn away. And you have other people who teach hard truth and people run from them as well. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. So we shall be turned away from the truth and be turned into foolishness because after our own lusts. So this is loving the world. So when we love the world, it is going to make us willing to move from teachers to teachers having itching ears. And here is where the problem comes in. Because if these teachers also love the world, then we're going to have a problem, and we're going to look at that. What if your teachers, because when we say love the world and love not the things of the world, we usually are examining ourselves, not looking at whether or not those who are teaching us are actually guilty of the same thing. Yeah. So, we must overcome our love for this world. And our overcoming our love for this world begins here. It begins at Matthew 16, 24 to 25. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. This is where it all begins. Because if we love the world, we have to find a way of detaching ourselves from the love of this world. And the only place to start is denying ourselves. Remember, Yahushua said, if any man will come after me. He said, any man again. Remember, 1 John 2:15 says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And Mashiach now is saying, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. So to be able to follow Yahushua, we have to be able to deny ourselves and pick up our stake to follow him. Because he said in Matthew 16:25, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So who will save his life is who will save his life in this world, will preserve himself to be walking according to the rudiments of this world. So to deny self means you reject yourself and your needs and your desires. And so in rejecting your needs and your desires, you will be able to not love this world. Because remember the correlation between the love of this world and self. When we love this world, it is the self, the carnal man, desiring to be comforted by the provisions or the things or the stimulation that is in this world. So the carnal man is desiring this world, and everything that this world provides, the carnal man will go after it. Because when carnal, our carnal nature is going to seek to be satisfied. So when we find satisfaction in this world, then we will be loving this world. But if we now are able to deny ourselves, we don't have the desire of this world, we don't desire anything from this world except food and raiment, then the world will not engulf us, the world will not pull us into its desire, and we will not love the world. Simple. Now, the meaning of deny, as in deny self, we looked at it before, let's look at it again, laying the foundation. The meaning of deny, the Thea lexicon says, to affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone. And that someone, of course, is me. I have to affirm that I have no connection with myself, which means I'm of no importance. Another one is to forget oneself. So when you deny yourself, you forget about yourself. You don't care about yourself. No cares. That is why we speak about the importance of being a slave of Yahuwah. When you are a slave of Yahuwah, you just live to do Yahuwah's will. You have no wish to do anything for yourself. Because you know that in doing Yahuwah's will, Yahuwah will do what? Provide for you. You are his servant. You are his slave. So he provides. The good master will take care of his slave. But when you have the mindset of being a slave of Yahuwah, you are not going to make any provisions in this world for yourself. You are not going to love this world because you will not have the desire for the things of this world. Your desires will be spiritual, and so you will be able to do what? Walk in the Spirit. And what does it say in Galatians 5:16? Walk in the Spirit, and you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Simple. Another one, lose sight of one's self and one's own interests, which means you no longer have any interests or desires in this world. Or you don't even care about yourself. You just live. You just live. Seeking out the kingdom, waiting on the kingdom. Because we have to understand this. The disciples, when they were with Hamashiach, they gave up their families, etc., and they were with Hamashiach. They denied themselves, being with Hamashiach, sleeping in the open air, as it says in Luke 21, verse 37. Let me just go there. 21:37. I need a... Oh, here it is. Yeah, Luke 21:37. I needed a Bible. Luke 21:37. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives. And that word abode there means spent the night in the open air. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple for to hear him. This was the life of Hamashiach, and the disciples were there with him throughout this life. Yes? The disciples were there with him throughout this life. So we have to have this similar mindset. Where is it? Yeah. We have to have this similar mindset. To deny ourselves utterly. That is the start, that is the beginning of ripping ourselves away from the love of this world. People, many of us are believers, and we think we are believers, we think we are going somewhere, we think, you see, the Most High is faithful, and the Most High continues to make himself known to us, and we celebrate and we say, Yada Yahuwah, when he does things for us. He is faithful. Do not use these things to think that you are good. You will be there doing all of these things, thinking you're good, and then at the last hour, what do you hear? Matthew 7:21-23. Many will say unto me in that day, Master, Master, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we? And then you will hear, I never knew you. So people, the Most High is faithful. You have to do what you need to do. many of us are loving this world. Loving this very world. Because, let me explain something to you. And this came out of our this afternoon's, fellowship here. The world, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is the wicked world. If you love this world, then you love wickedness. That's it. The Most High gave us a challenge with this world. And the challenge is, are you going to love this world or are you going to give it up? Knowing all the wickedness that is in this earth. And that is why we teach how we teach. I remember once were people telling me that I must stop talking about what is happening in this world. I must just tell people to repent. Which of course have proven over the years to be foolishness. We have to show the wickedness in this earth and show that the earth is wicked. When people know that the world is wicked, a witness is born against them as to whether or not they are going to reject this wicked world. If you continue to think that this world is nice and rosy, because remember, this is an awakening and we are waking up. We are awakening and we are thinking, okay, this world is so nice. What kind of action will we take? We are going to believe that these people are nice people and that these people are not evil. We are not going to look at the evil that is on this world. And one of the things I was speaking about was this thing that they were putting in our arms, and people were telling me not to say anything about it. I was saying to myself when I started thinking, I said, what kind of a devil is people and telling people about this thing to make them aware that they should not take it because many were deceived. Because the word says, by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And the people are deceived and we're trying to open the people's eyes and they're saying, don't do it. Yes? We have to open our eyes to the wickedness so that we can choose the good. That is what this world is all about. So our walk in this world is whether or not we can actually reject this world. And many of us as believers have not rejected this world, are loving this world, and we are in trouble and we do not actually know it. The reason the Most High tells us to flee out of Babylon, for example, is to get ourselves away from the wickedness. The Most High cannot work and cannot work with us in the middle of uncleanness, in the middle of wickedness. That is why when he took the children of Israel out of Egypt, he said to tell Moses to tell Pharaoh, let my people go so that they can go in the wilderness to do what? To worship me. Because they could not worship him in Egypt because Egypt was too polluted. Now what about Babylon? Revelation 1 verse 2, I think, or 3. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahuwah's hand. No, not that one. Babylon has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul ruach and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. 18. Huh? Revelation 18, yeah. Revelation 18 about 2 or 3. Yes. So because Babylon has been polluted, the Most High cannot work with us in there. He says, come out of her. Similar to coming out and going in the wilderness to worship him. Now, when you come out of Babylon, you have to have the heart to change. You have to have started your change in Babylon. When you come out, you will complete the change outside of Babylon. Just like the children of Israel, they had the heart for him in Egypt, and he had to complete it in the wilderness. It's the same thing. Yes? But when you love this world, you defeat the process. That is why out of Babylon now, he is not going to come and get you out of Babylon. You have to voluntarily come out of Babylon. You have to show that you reject this world. Understand? It's very simple. So when you come out of Babylon, then he processes you and he purges you and he pleads with you to make the complete change, to make yourself ready to Zion. If you are ready for Zion, then he will take you into Zion. It's very simple. So loving this world is the worst thing a believer could do. So here's what we do. As I said before, we think about when we said loving the world and not the things of the world, we think about ourselves. We don't think about other people who are out there who are actually teaching. What if these people love the world? We're going to look at the implications of that.